I'm in love with this room right now. My name is Joseph Michael Ray Limas, and I would like to tell you the story about the man who lives inside me. Yes, there is a man that lives inside me, and it took me over 30 years to realize he was there. Before I tell you about him, though, I'd like to tell you about the moment that I realized that he was there. I was working as a server in a restaurant in Brooklyn, and there's this regular customer who would always come, and he would sit for hours. I didn't work in a cafe, I worked in a restaurant where you should eat and you should leave, but he would sit there for hours on his computer, and he would play fantasy baseball, and he would complain to me about his wife, and he required Diet Coke refills every time his glass would be 3/4 of the way empty. And he would also sit and he would write. He was a writer for The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore. And The Nightly Show is an answer to The Daily Show, but from a black perspective. And although that show is about blackness, this white writer was one of their head writers. It was not long after he got the job as the head writer there, as one of the head writers there, that he and his wife purchased this sprawling, beautiful white mansion in upstate New York. He posted a photo of it, an aerial view photo, with the caption, "Everyone please continue to pray for more racial tension in America so that I can keep my job at the #Nightly Show so that I can pay for this house." Real talk. A few days later, I saw him in the restaurant, and he said, "Hey, Joseph, how's it going?" And I said, "You know, just hanging out, praying for more racial tension." He said, no, come on, no, hey, look, I was joking, I was joking, right? And I said, "Hey, yeah, here's your Diet Coke." It was a few days later, I was going over this in my mind. I was replaying it, and I was getting so angry because I realized what had happened was that I lost my voice in this moment. In this moment where I was at my job was to be a servant to this man, and I had lost my voice. And as I was thinking about this, I got hot. My body got physically hot, and I think it was the heat that turned on a light, and I saw this man inside me. And he'd been sitting there in solitary confinement.
Come on.
He's a tall, beautiful man. He has shiny mahogany skin. There's no hair on his head. He has 3 teeth. 2 of them are wood and 1 of them is gold. He's full of muscles. And he spends every single day sitting at a wooden and metal school desk. He lives in a cone-shaped dungeon. At the top of the cone is a very small hole, only a few inches around. That's the only way light comes in. With that light comes drips of water. Every day, all day. Single drops of water. The water drops 150 feet down into this cone-shaped dungeon. There are no windows. There are no doors. There is no ladder. There is no way out. I'm 34 years old. And the pain and loneliness of this man who lives inside me is about 75, 76 years old. I had a revelation a few months ago about this man, that I was the one who had control over feeding him. I was the one who was choosing to give him drips of water instead of giving him a glass of water. I was the one who had control over his life. And I decided that I was going to go in for the first time. See, there was no way out for him, but I could go in and I could get out. So right now, me telling you his story is my first step to going in. And I don't know what's going to happen when I go in, but I know he's probably going to kick my fucking ass for a long time, until we sit in silence and come to some sort of agreement, because he has no idea what's going on out here. He has no idea about the racism, about the capitalism, about the patriarchy, about religion, and all the things that I deal with. But he doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't want my excuses. He only wants me to be happy. In this white world that we live in, they don't want us to go in and meet that woman that man, that non-binary person that is inside us, because they are wild inside us. I've decided that it's time for me to go in. And I invite you to go in too. And I don't know how long it's going to take or what is going to happen, but when I come out, we're coming out together as a whole person. Who's inside you?